So when did this research turn from being a homework into a religious conversion?
In the research process, I read an incredible book called The Bible, Quran, and Science. This book takes scientific fact and compares it to what's in the Bible and verses of the Quran. So it came from probably suresi Alak, talking about the creation, how biologically a drop becomes congealed blood, becomes bone, surrounded by flesh. And this is given to us in the Quran. In the Bible, it's nowhere to be found. But the Quran so delicately explains this biological process that even, 150, 200 years ago, doctors were just discovering how this whole process occurs. That's something that you can't deny, that our Creator revealed to the believers this process when science was so far behind. So this was probably, at that point, I remember reading it. I had been newly married. When I read this in the book, I just started weeping, like tears would not stop. My husband, we were very newly married at the time. I called him and I said, I have to do this. And he's like, calm down, you're crying too much. What's the problem? And I said, I know I need to be a Muslim. And he said, wait a minute. He said, I've never done this before. I was born a Muslim. I don't know anything about this. He said, please call Sheikh Jamal. And he said, tell him that you're ready, to make this decision. But he told me, please make sure. I said, I'm sure. And I said, I need to make my shahada tonight. And he said, simple. I said, what do you mean? I want something like, what do I do? What do I do? He said, tell me. I said, what should I tell you? He said, say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. And I did. He said, okay, now you have to tell me in English so I can be sure that you know what it means. And so he said, repeat after me. And I did. And that was it. And I said, that's all I have to do to be Muslim? And he said, welcome to Islam.